Let me do a quick joke before I move on here. I'll try to maybe this will be my only joke because it's kind of a longer one. I still think I should trim it down a bit, but this is my joke practice for the day. Before we dive into these, we got a lot to go through, so I'm going to try to do this quickly. Here we go. So, my producer called me a wolf dressed up in sheep's clothing. Have you ever heard that phrase, a wolf dressed up in sheep's clothing? Can you believe that? It's ridiculous. First of all, I generally wear cotton because it's too hot for wool. Wool's too hot. I wear cotton, okay? And if I were a wolf, which I'm not, I'm just a little hairy, but if I were a wolf, I'd be more like a wolf dressed up in tree clothing, not sheep's clothing, because I wear cotton. And actually, cotton is not the clothes that a trees wear. Trees and cotton. What is cotton to a tree? I don't know. Actually, to a cotton tree, cotton. Oh, actually, okay. Actually, it's more like I'm a man dressed up in tree men. I'm just a naked, slightly hairy man dressed up in tree menstruation. Okay, not that I'm a tree expert or anything, but I feel like that's roughly accurate of what cotton is. And I feel like after, now that I think about it, after they shear the sheep to get the wool from the sheep, they should at least give the naked sheep a cotton jacket until it grows back a bit. That would be the nice thing to do. Plus, then you'd end up with a sheep dressed up in trees clothing. You'd have a sheep dressed up in trees clothing. Or, a sheep dressed up in tree menstruation or whatever, right? Because they'd have a cotton jacket on, which may keep the wolves away, because the wolves are not generally attracted to cotton tree menstruation, thus freeing up the shepherd, who can then go save the world, since shepherds always seem to be like the person you want to be leading stuff, At least that's according to the Bible. It seems like the shepherds are always like the super smart people that should be like leading stuff, but they can't because they're always too busy lead stuff because they're leading sheep, because otherwise the wolves attack the sheep. So they're stuck leading sheeps. I feel like Elon Musk was probably a shepherd, until he invented like the cotton coat for the sheep that kept the wolves away, freeing him up to then shepherd the building of SpaceX or something, Anyways, plus I'm not a wolf either. I'm not a wolf in sheep's clothing because I don't like wearing wool, and I'm not a wolf. I'm just a little bit hairy, okay? I'm not that hairy. If I was as hairy as a wolf, I could run around naked in the snow and not need to dress up in sheep's clothing or cotton tree menstruation. Honestly, this is just another case of Phil crying wolf. You got to be aware of crying wolves, man. They're out there, I'm telling you. Remember, charity is giving to those in need, people. Not being blackmailed by a grown man using the tactics of a 5-year-old child whining for a candy bar in the supermarket. That's not charity. That's actually a kind of selfish, false virtue signaling cowardice if you give into those crying wolves, man. It's harming everybody involved. It's not helping anybody.